All right, family. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into training. What I want to start off with first is the winning momentum cycle. This is the cycle of steps for the fundamentals. Mastering this cycle right here. Once you get competent in doing these steps, it's going to give you confidence. And when you have confidence doing these steps, it's going to equal compensation, right? When a person is confident because they're competent doing these steps, they get paid. One thing I know is that Coach B. Walk, before she became a regional vice president, she was very, very deliberate and on purpose about getting competent at these steps. Y'all ain't hearing me. She's the person that nobody asked her to do it. She would literally record her Zoom meetings and watch the film like she is a college coach or an NFL coach, breaking down her own film, trying to figure out how can I get better. She wanted to get competent, and by doing that, that gave her confidence, and she got paid, right? You can be the same way. What are the steps, Nick? Step number one is prospecting, right? Prospecting, the exercise of getting new contacts to talk to so you can do step number two, schedule appointments. Schedule appointments, right? That's a skill. You got to know how to schedule appointments. Step number three is doing a winning presentation, right? Most of you guys have seen that, whether you got it done on you or whether you've seen your field trainer do it with you and for you. Step number 4 and 5, you mingle them together, doing the wealth builder, getting referrals, basically closing business and getting the referrals after that. And if a person says, yes, I want to join the business during step 3, the winning presentation, that leads to the new recruit orientation and getting a new recruit off to a fast start, right? Mastering these 6 steps, prospecting, schedule appointments, winning presentation, wealth builder, getting referrals, new recruit orientation, / getting a new recruit off to a fast start, mom, mastering that cycle will get you paid. It'll help build you a true, vibrant, thriving business, right? And so if those are the elements, and ain't nothing but 6 steps, right? If those are the things you got to master, then why not invest the time really getting competent at these things? So what we're going to talk about is the thing that I started out with last week when I did the skills assessment, and that's prospecting, right? That's prospecting. So I want to revisit that prospecting training that I did about this time last year, because I think that prospecting is very important. It's extremely key to your success. And I think that sometimes we can overlook prospecting until it becomes an Achilles heel in our business. See, prospecting is everything. It's everything. Now, it's really prospecting and scheduling appointments. The two go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly, like peaches and herb, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. See, Harold Melvin without the Blue Notes never went platinum, right? He needed the Blue Notes, right? And so you need the two together, prospecting and scheduling appointments. But I only have time tonight to really touch on prospecting because I want to make sure that we get an understanding around prospecting, all right? And so with that being said, right, with the prospecting, what I'm going to do is just kind of talk a little bit about it. The power of prospecting. The power of prospecting. I should put 2.0 on this, right? I'll probably fix that in the revision, before I upload it to our YouTube channel. The power of prospecting 2.0, right? And so who are you looking for? Who are you looking for? Let me tell you this, you're in business. So you need to be looking for somebody, right? If you opened up a daycare, who are you looking for? You're looking for people with kids. Am I right? Absolutely. If you start any business, you better be looking for somebody that can patronize your business. So it's no different here at Primerica. So what you need to consider yourself is a person, you have like an antenna on the top of your head. And that antenna is you like you're looking for people to connect with your business, either as a client or as a teammate. You're looking for people, right? And so we have a target market of the type of people that we look for. And so, but you need to just know that, man, as you are out and about, as you are dealing with people and whatever it can be, always keep your antenna up. Pastor Chris, listen to me. Always keep your antenna up. Keep your antenna up, right? And so we look for people that are qualified. This is who you're looking for. This is who your antenna is up for, right? And so these are the characteristics of a qualified market or target market in Primerica. For the newest person that's on this call, that you join this business, if you were ever wondering, is this a real legitimate business? Yes, it is, because every real business has a target market. Well, Primerica, we have a target market as well. What is our target market? People that are employed full-time and between age 25 and 55. Hold on, let me change that. Let me change that. Let me adjust that real quick, because I know some of y'all thinking that, okay, well, it's back up to 55. No, it's not. I needed to adjust that. Hold on, let me adjust that. It's between, let me come back to you. I made the adjustment. Hey, go ahead and scratch your notes out. I had to make that correction, Coach D-Walk. It's between age 25 and 50, right? This is our target market. Anybody that you meet with, they need to be between age 25 and 50 and employed full-time. Now, are there some exceptions? Sure. But most of the people that we meet with, they need to have these top two characteristics. That's why they are highlighted in red, right? And so with that, those two, we call them the non-negotiables. Anybody that you're going to run an appointment with, they have to have these two things: employed full-time between age 25 and 50, right? Because that's where you're going to find the most success in our business. Now, to go a step further, to make it a more qualified market, what you're looking for are people that are employed full-time between age 25 and 50, and they have a kid or some kids that are under the age of 19, or they're married, or they're a homeowner. If the prospect has at least one of these, along with the top two that are in red, that means that they are a part of a qualified market. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that? Hopefully you don't. In order for the market to be qualified, which you want to stay in front of qualified people, the reason why a lot of people might struggle in this business, Constance, and get off to a slower start is because the market that they're in may not be a strong qualified market. That's one of the reasons that you might be in the wrong market. Well, I'm here to help you out. Don't let this be the reason why you're not having the success that you should be having. Make sure that you know how and where to hunt and what you're hunting for. Employed full-time, between age 25 and 50, non-negotiables. And then at least one of the following three. Now, if they got all three, fantastic. Boom, right? Boom, we good. Man, we good if they got all three of the bottom three. Kids under the age of 19, married, homeowner. But all we're looking for, at least one of them. They have all of them, fantastic. Along with the top two. Who are we looking for? I have fun with this. I say, hey, man, we're hunting deer, not wild boar, right? Deer, this is what a deer looks like. Deer is the people that have these things right here, right? When you're hunting deer, man, I mean, it's a great thing. When you hunt wild boar, it gets messy. It gets messy. What's wild boar? Wild boar are the people that, man, they got major health issues. They got diabetes, high blood pressure. They just had a stroke, a year ago. And you coming to your field trainer talking about yeah, man, my aunt want to get some life insurance. Well, tell me about your aunt. She just got out the hospital 3 months ago. Come on, y'all. Love your aunt. I wish we could protect her, but guess what? She's not in our target market, right? Aunt might be, you know, in her 70s. Y'all know how many people that come to me and say, hey, Nick, I want to inquire about life insurance on a loved one, on a family member. Well, tell me about them. Well, they're 75 years old. And I'm like, man, we can't do that. We can't do that. Or they have a host of medical issues and things like that. Man, we can't do that. And so what you're hunting for is a specific, but at the same time, not a very difficult market to fish in, right? If you don't know a lot of people in that market, guess what? We got to work with you and help you establish yourself in that market. And it may take some creativity and some work to get it done, but that's the work that you want to do. That's the work that you want to do, is to fight and to assert yourself, to get in front of and to stay in front of a qualified market, right? So deer versus wild boar, we hunt deer, right? Also, this is another thing. Market is one thing, Coach B. Walt, but the other thing is the connection. This is a connection business. But before I step to the connection business, anything you want to say about being in the right market, Coach B. Walt? Because I think that that's a crucial piece. When I first got started in Primerica, nobody told me that. I mean, they shared some things, but they kind of glossed over it. So I spent a lot of time trying to pursue people that were not in the right market. And I was frustrated. I was discouraged until somebody came along and told me that, man, Nick, you got the work ethic. You have the desire. You have the heart to win. One of the challenges that I'm seeing is that you're spending too much time pursuing people that are not in the qualified market. And that slight tweak changed some things for me in my business. So Coach B-Rock, I wanted to talk, maybe tag you in and see, if you have any insight that you wanted to share with the people about just, making sure that they're in the right market.
So, one thing that I heard a few weeks ago, Nick, was when you're looking for people, you got to think of it like this. Would you hire that person for your company if you were the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company? And so I was like, man, I've never thought about it like that, because you really are, like, your business, you have the potential to have that type of business. And so I'm like, I never even thought about it like that. So as I'm approaching people now, I sit and I reflect on things. Would I hire that person? Coming in back in 2019, I remember having these conversations with Nick a lot, like, well, why can't I talk to him, Nick? And then, well, what about me? Because I am that exception. Like he said, I am between 25 and 50. But when you think about it, I don't have any kids. I'm not married, but that's an exception. You're not going to find everyone's not going to be like that. And so, that may be that one person that's like that. And so when you are searching for individuals, you also have to think about this. Do you want your business to grow? Things like this on the back end, when we're looking at, like he just went over, we're talking about trying to write them a policy, right? So if you have a family and you're sitting down with the family, you can get more out of that than just coming up with someone that is single like me. They have more to lose than I do. I have a lot to lose now, but I'm just saying. But I know that it's really important to look at the qualified market overall, and just knowing that those individuals are going to be there when you do look up. It's just important to look at that. I feel like it took me a while to kind of learn that. And so with us going over this tonight, it's really good for you to kind of look at this and say, okay, well, am I shopping? Now, it's got to say shopping, but am I looking in the right market? Is this going to work? Or every time I look up at the end of the month, the new recruit that I had, or the 2 or 3 people that I had, are they still there? Or are they gone? And so then you have to reflect on those individuals and say, okay, this wasn't the right market. Am I shopping for people that don't have a full-time job? Are they part-timers? Are they, do they, have a house do they own a house? Are they full-time? You have to look at those things, because like we said, we have, everyone on this call has dreams. We have goals. We have a lot to lose. We have things that we want in life. And so if you have someone that doesn't have those things in place, it's going to make it more difficult, because you can't I'm just going to say, you can't make something into what it's not, and so you can try, but you can't. And so that's very important to understand, that when you are looking for those individuals, y'all, I like to look at it like this. Would I hire someone? Would I want them working for my company if I was the CEO of a multi-million dollar company? So that's a good way to also look at it as well. Hope that helped, Nick.
Yeah, that did. That helped a lot, man, because you know what it does, it lets you know that you know, the power of the people that come on board to your business, your people and your clients, they essentially are a reflection of you. You don't have to recruit everybody. You don't. You know, I mean, just like, you know, if you were the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you don't have to hire everybody, right? You know, just like, you know, if you are I always like to use, you know, the sports analogy, just forgive me. Like if you were the head football coach or the head basketball coach of a Power Five program or college, you know, they recruit. Well, guess what? They recruit a certain type of player that fits their system. Right? And so this player over here might be a great athlete, but they may not fit the system that we run here. So I'm not going to recruit them. So if you have a vision for what you want your business to look like, and there it is right there. If you don't have a vision for what you want your business to look like, then it'll open you up to all kinds of possibilities. You'll recruit, you know, just the masses. I'm not telling you not to recruit the masses, but all I'm telling you to do is to recruit the selective masses. There's a difference, the selective masses, because what it'll do, it'll help you reach your destination faster and more efficiently if you stay in a qualified market. Now, let me clarify, because I know somebody's hearing me, but you're not hearing me. I didn't say that whoever you're trying to schedule appointments with have to have all of those things. Because I know somebody on here constantly saying, well, Nick say that all my appointments need to be with married people. I didn't say that. All the people that I meet with gotta have kids. And man, I did not say that. I said the not. Somebody put it in the chat right now. What did I say the two non-negotiables are for the people that you meet with? What are the two non-negotiables, right? Somebody throw it in the chat. If you know what it is, man, start throwing it in. What are the two non-negotiables of the qualified market? Give it to me. Yeah, Khalil said full-time job. It's another one on that. They got to be employed full-time. Well, Nick, they're a business owner. They're a business owner, right? They're a business owner. Does that count? Yeah, that counts too. If they're a business, as long as they're making a full-time level of income, that's really what we're getting at. That's fine too. They don't have to have a job. If they have a business that's paying them a full-time level of income, that's fine too. We'll count that as full-time, right? But they need to be employed full-time and between age 25 and 50. Thank you, teammates, for throwing that in there, man. Thank y'all. Y'all getting it. Employed full-time and between age 25 and 50. Those are the two non-negotiables. Then all you're looking for, once you've got that group, you're looking for inside of that group who has at least one more of these three characteristics. Kids under the age of 19 or a kid under 19, married or homeowner. That coupled with the other two, that makes them qualified. That's the market that I'm telling you to stay in, family. I promise you that. That's probably Kalia. I see you raise your hand. Wait a minute. Hold your question because I'm gonna hit the pause button here in a minute, and we're gonna take some questions and stuff like that. And so write your question down. Don't forget it. And that goes for anybody else. And I got a whole slide to say I'm hitting the pause button, and that's what we're gonna have like a discussion a little bit during the deal. But let me kind of get through this because the next part about prospecting is, you know, obviously we're talking about staying in the right market, but we also need to understand that this is a connection business. This is a connection business. Well, Nick, what are you talking about? The connectivity that I'm talking about is credibility. The connectivity that I'm talking about is credibility. This is a connection business. Your credibility gives you more connectivity. Connectivity equals credibility. Credibility equals connectivity. Are y'all with me? And let me tell you about credibility. In Primerica, write this down. If you're taking notes, write this down. When it comes to credibility in the business, either you have it with somebody, either you got to borrow it from somebody, or you're going to have to create it with somebody. Y'all missed it. when it comes to credibility. Credibility is currency in this business. You always looking for a situation of high credibility. It makes your life in Primerica easy. That word, say it with me wherever you at. Credibility. On the count of three, we all gonna say it because we're gonna put it in the atmosphere together. 1, 2, 3. Credibility. You want it just like you want momentum, you want credibility, right? It makes your life and the results you're looking to get so much easier. And I'm gonna go over it again, family. When it comes to credibility in Primerica, either you already have it, or you gotta borrow it from somebody, right? Or you gotta create it. See, when you already have it, that means that you know somebody, they know you, you got a great relationship with them. If you say, hey, I need a favor, they're gonna say, what you need? That's credibility, you already have it. Then you might have to borrow it, which means that I might get a referral from somebody. Listen to me. And I say, hey, I got your number from Rosalind Morris. Did she give you a heads up I was going to call you? Yes, she did. Well, if Rosalind Morris has great credibility with the person that I'm calling, I'm borrowing her credibility to try to get where I'm trying to go with this person. Does that make sense? You got to borrow it. Or with a new recruit, Coach B-Walt, we borrowing their credibility when we're in front of their people. We got to borrow their credibility. Or you got to create it. What do you mean by creating it? Meaning that I meet Constance in the grocery store. I don't know her. She don't know me from Adam's House Cat. And I say, excuse me, ma'am, can I share one of these flyers with you? Hey, listen, I'm a life insurance agent in the area, this and the other, and I'm prospecting her to see if she might be interested in letting me speak to her about becoming a client. I'm trying to create the credibility from scratch. When it comes to credibility, you either gonna do it one of the three ways. Either you already have it. God bless you if you got a lot of credibility with, a lot of good credibility with people. God bless you. If you have a lot of good credibility with people, and you'll find out if you got good credibility with people with Primerica. You might think you do, but Primerica will show you whether or not you got good credibility with people. If you have it with a lot of people, God bless you. My only thing is that use that power for good. Use that power for good. If you have credibility with a lot of people, but you're not sharing with them what it is that you're doing and how this opportunity and these services can impact their lives, shame on you. Shame on you. And I'm going to come back to that. So if you have good credibility with people, God bless you. Let me say this. To borrow a person's credibility takes skill. It takes skill. That's something that you have to work on, right? It takes skill, a little bit of skill. Creating credibility, yeah, you got to put that work in. That takes skill also. The most skill to create credibility. And that's why cold prospecting, where you have to create credibility on the fly, really, that's why the numbers and the ratios are smaller. The numbers and the ratios as far as the results you get, because there's no relationship there, right? And that's why they always say, hey, this is not really a cold market business. If you're out there cold prospecting, your goal is to get back into a warm market. Warm market meaning a market where there's some credibility there. The credibility is there, all right? And so let's get to it. Let's get back to it. Either you have it, you borrow it, or you creating it. You're creating it, right? These are signs that you have credibility, because some of y'all are walking around thinking that you don't have credibility with people, and you actually do. You actually do. These are some signs that you have credibility. Now, here's the thing. Hopefully you have credibility with people that are in the qualified market. That's what really matters. Do you have credibility with people that are in the qualified market, right, when it comes to Primerica? Some signs you have credibility. The last impression you left on them was a good one. Last conversation y'all had, last exchange, it was a great one. It was a positive one. That's a sign you got a level of credibility with the person. Hey, the last time y'all were together, did y'all have a good time? Did y'all laugh a lot? Did y'all say, hey, man, good to see you? I mean, was it a good impression? No matter how brief, was it a good impression, right? That's a sign that you have credibility with a person. Hey, you call them by a nickname or vice versa, right? Hey, that's Lil Third, right? Why they call him Lil Third? Because he's the third. He's named after his daddy, who's named after his daddy. They all named after him. Like, yeah, he's Clifton Jenkins the third. We just call him Lil Third, right? That's what you call him. And he might call you a nickname. That's a sign you got credibility. Man, when I met Benicia, I'm calling her Benicia. Everybody calling her Monique. I'm like, who is Monique? Is that your stage name? Like, you're around here doing shows? What's going on? You got a stage name? She's like, no, Monique is my middle name. Everybody call me Monique. And so the people who call her Monique, they let me know she got credibility. Well, y'all ain't hearing me. See, you got people calling you all kind of nicknames, and you trying to keep your field trainer away from them folk. Man, they calling you, Lil Juke or whatever the case may be. I don't want to meet with them. They might call me Lil Juke. Man, them the people you need to be in front of. They calling you call them a nickname, man, you got credibility with them people. They been calling you that since you been knee out to a Coke bottle. And you're not trying to meet with them. I'm not trying to meet with them. Every time you come around, they calling you by your nickname, and you call them by their nickname, and you ain't met with them yet. You got credibility with them. Oh, what about this one? You in good with the extended family. You know not only them, but you know their brothers, you know their sisters, you know their parents. That's a sign you have credibility with somebody. Their kids put uncle or aunt in front of your name, or vice versa. Your kids do the same thing to them, calling them Aunt Jackie, calling them Aunt Erica, calling them Uncle Marcus, right? And they kids calling you Auntie Constance, Auntie Sean. Man, you got credibility with people like that. Auntie Kalia. Their kids have been under your supervision, or vice versa. They actually left their kids with you. Man, you got credibility with them. You do, right? That's credibility. Man, anyway, we don't leave our kids with everybody. I promise you that. And so they've asked for your advice on things. They've asked for your advice on things, right? I'm talking about like sincerely asking for your advice on something. Like, hey man, what are your thoughts on this? This is something that I got going on. I mean, I wanted to ask you about it, right? They respect your opinion. That's a sign of credibility. They've given you some form of praise, or they've hit you up to encourage you. Like they've gone out of their way to contact you to encourage you, or they've prayed for you and with you. That's a sign of credibility. Oh, here they done borrowed something from you. May not have given it back. Oh man, you got credibility with them. They done borrowed something from you. Yeah. Notice I didn't say you done borrowed something from them. They borrowed something from you. Yeah, that's a sign of credibility. Right? You served in ministry together. You've collaborated on projects together. You've even maybe done other business ventures together, right? These are all signs of credibility, family. I'm just trying to help you out. When people see you, they ask about this person. Well, that person that they're asking about is somebody that you have credibility with. When they see Andrea, they asking about Tina. Man, when the last time you seen Tina? Is that like, and you get that a lot because they know that y'all was tight or that y'all used to hang. That means that you probably have credibility with the person that they're asking about, right? That's a sign that you have credibility. And you always invite each other to your respective events. Housewarming, birthday party, kid's birthday party, baby shower, baby dedication, and you show up. You didn't necessarily show up to everything, but you showed up to some things, and they showed up to your stuff. That's credibility. That's credibility. And then last but not least, you done some dirt together. You done some dirt together. You ain't get caught. You did a little dirt together, right? That y'all don't talk about. Y'all got inside jokes together about things. You know, remember that time we were like, y'all don't even talk about it. Y'all just look at it. Remember that time we was, yeah, we ain't gonna bring that up. Yeah, y'all laugh about it. You done some dirt together. Man, you got credibility with them people, man. Maybe you pledged together. You went through an intake process together, right? Whatever. And the dirt can be past or present. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All signs of credibility, family. All signs of credibility. And with that, let's talk about this chicken list, because some of y'all got chicken lists. Chicken list is not somebody you want to go eat Popeyes with, right? Your chicken list are the people that you are scared and deathly afraid to call. You don't want to call them. And let me tell you why you don't want to call them. You don't want to call them because of a number of reasons. This is just a couple of them, Coach B. Walk. You don't want to call these people, you know them. You got credibility with them. But you don't want to call them because you think they already have a good job and they making good money, right? So you don't want to call them and talk about little old Primerica because they already got a good job. But they on your chicken list. You know them, have credibility with them, but you not call them, hadn't called them, ain't said nothing to them, dog, cat, nothing, because you think they got a good job. Or, Queen, check this out. They think that these people already got it together. Oh, they probably already got that stuff. They probably already got insurance and investment. Who am I? Who am I to call them and to ask them to help little old me with this? You people think you already got it together. And these might be people that you think may know more about you. Know more about finances than you. You think they may know more than you. So you scared to call them. Well, she's an accountant. Her husband is in finance. Her husband, they tell me that he deals with stocks. They got real estate property and all of that. Man, they probably, I don't feel comfortable approaching them or talking to them about this because they probably know more than I do. Well, guess what? They probably do. But I guarantee you, they don't know more than your field trainer. Come on, somebody. They don't know more than your RVP. They don't know more about them. They don't know what they think they know. But they don't know more. They don't know more. And yeah. Now, that's not something that we try to throw in anybody's face, guys. I've been doing this for 18 years now. I ain't really met too many people that know more about this stuff than I do. Not in a way that they can articulate it and explain it from 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 different angles. That's the level that I'm at right now. I can explain this thing forward, backward, front, sideways, up, down. Can you hear me in the back? Let me repeat it for you because you may have missed it. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And so you don't have to be afraid to call these people because you're not going to be the one that's trying to talk to them or convince them. Your job is to put them in front of somebody who can talk to them and explain it to them. Are y'all with me? Right? So you don't have to have them on a chicken list. Put them down on the list. People that you think will flat out reject you, or you think they might ask you too many questions. I don't want to put them on the list. They might ask me a bunch of questions. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that, right? So you don't even contact them. You don't put them on this. They on the chicken list. People you think will look at you negatively because you're trying to sell them or recruit them. And I don't want them to look at me negatively, man. We supposed to go to brunch next week. I don't want to make brunch awkward by calling them and asking them if they can do an appointment. Because what if they tell me no, and then I'm gonna be in my feelings about it. And we supposed to go have brunch. A group of us, we do that once a month. I don't want to introduce this to that circle of people. because that's my circle of people that we get together and we eat and we don't talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about much of nothing. And I don't want to talk to them about something that's real, that can be life-changing to them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, all right, cool. All right, y'all playing it cool. All right. And then this is a big one right here, Coach B. Walk. People you haven't seen or talked to in a while. They on your chicken list. Because in your mind, notice I said, in your mind, the people you haven't seen or talked to in a while, you're thinking, what do I look like? Just picking up the phone and calling them and asking to meet with them to talk about Primerica. I ain't talked to them in 6-8 months. That's rude of me to pick up the phone and talk to them about something that can impact their life financially. That'll be rude of me. I mean, you know what I'm gonna do, Nick? I'm just not gonna call them. Y'all know how many times I hear this? Nick, I'm just not gonna call them. I need to call them maybe like 2, 3, 4 times before I ask them about Primerica. I just need to get back in a conversation and I need to warm them back up because I think they're gonna talk about me behind my back and say, how dare Benicia call me and she ain't called me in 8 months, and how dare she pick up the phone and call me? The first time she called me in 8 months, she asking me to sit on an appointment for her. Who she think I am? Y'all know, you know how people be thinking like that, Coach B. Walt? How people really be thinking like that. But what they fail to realize, I know this ain't nobody on this call, it's the people that are not on the call that think like this, right? It ain't the people that's on the go train. See, the people that's on the train tonight, I know y'all don't think like that, but them heathens and them knuckleheads that ain't on train tonight, they think like this. So don't tell them I said this, right? They don't realize, Mom, that guess what? The person that you haven't called in 8 months, they haven't called you either. They haven't called you either. You know why? Because they're living their life. They're taking care of their responsibilities. They're doing their thing. So when you do pick up the phone and call them, as long as, I'm going back to number 1, the last exchange you had with them, y'all know what I'm going, was a good one. You pick up the phone and call them. Hey, what's up? Man, it's been a minute since we go. How you doing? This is great. Yeah, listen, look, I know we ain't talked in a minute, but I'm actually calling for a reason. The reason why I called, I need your help. What's going on? And you give them the rundown of what you're doing. You know what? They're going to be like, man, I thank you for thinking of me. See, y'all think the conversation will go another way, and y'all blocking the blessing. Oh, I'm sorry, not y'all. The people that ain't on training right now, they blocking their blessings, thinking that somebody gonna reject them or think negatively of them for picking up the phone and calling because they all ain't talked in 8 months a year. And so they on your chicken list right now. Right now. And you know what happens when people are on your chicken list? Somebody else is eventually gonna talk to them. And you're going to mess around and see on Facebook, some of y'all have probably already seen this. You're going to see on Facebook or Instagram some signs and evidence that they're in Primerica. And they were sitting on your list. You're going to see some signs and something like that, like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Did Capri say that she's selling life insurance now? I wonder who she was. And now you trying to do all kind of spy work to figure out what's going on. Hey, does anybody know what company Capri with and all this? I think she went Primerica. Me and my husband just met her. She went Primerica. She been on your list for a year. You were scared to talk to her. But some person that called her as a referral, the recruiter did, and now she a district leader. Y'all know how I know that? Because it's happened to some of y'all. Some of y'all was on people's chicken list. They never called you. It happened to Coach B. Walt. Talk to him, Coach B. Walt. Let him know that it is real what I'm saying. Talk to him if you don't mind. Tell him what's real.
Everyone, I feel trained. Blessed Dynasty already knows the story. So I have 2 people that I know, 2 close people. One was my neighbor. Been neighbors for 5 years. My old neighbors, they actually had a key to my house. Used to walk my dog, take care of my house when I was gone. Never asked me about Primera because she had been in the business like 10 years. And she's like, she's a district leader. So I got in and I'm excited. I'm asking her, I'm trying to recruit her, and she's telling me she in the business. I'm like, huh? Then I was like, okay, well, why you never asked me? I didn't think you'd be interested. In Atlanta, 2019, coming back from the convention, getting on the plane, I'm in the airport. One of my sorority sisters that went to Prairie View, she was in the business. And she was like, Benicia, I promise you, I never thought that you would be interested in this. I never even thought to even ask you. I thought you would turn this down. And I was like, you should have asked, because honestly, the person that Team I'm on, I made sure I walked up to him and talked to him. I said, you should have asked me, but you didn't, and now I'm a regional vice president. And so you can't overlook people because what you think that person could be that superstar. We always hear Nick say, you're a one recruit away from an explosion. Imagine had I been on either one of their teams, but they did not take the time out to talk to me because they thought I wouldn't be interested. And so don't make that same mistake, y'all. Both of them now, I think one is a division leader, and then the other one is still the district leader. And so I'm in, 2 years later, I'm a regional vice president. So don't do that. Don't mess up and do that. And so I'm glad he said that, because I'm like, yep, that's true. So I don't mind calling people I haven't talked to in like 2-3 years. Just like I hadn't picked up the phone and called them. They hadn't picked up the phone and called me. But somewhere somebody is praying for an opportunity similar to this. And just at that time, I was praying and crying and asking for an opportunity from God. And when I walked to my car in that parking lot and ran into Nick and had that conversation with him, you never know who is crying and praying. So you can pick up that phone, you can call them. And if they tell you don't talk to them about the business, oh well, on to the next, because it's not for everyone. But at least you tried, you'll never know. So don't, in your mind, get out of your head and say, I need to call them. I need to reach out. I'm going to stop making these excuses, because that's what it is. You're making excuses and saying, well, I ain't talked to them in so long. I don't think they'd be interested. I don't know. I don't want to make them feel like I'm pressuring them. And then I don't want to go out to eat with them. And listen, if we're going out to eat and we having cocktails and we can't talk about my business and the things that we do, why am I going out to eat with them then? Because I need to make sure that all my friends, we on the same level as far as financially. If they're struggling and they're looking at the bill and trying to see how they're going to get the tip, now I need to say, hey, I have a business opportunity for you, and you need to make sure that you listen to it. They don't listen to it, I don't know, but at least I've actually planted the seed and put it out there. And so that's all you can do. Don't do that anymore. I hear that all the time. So I'm so glad you said that, Nick. When people always say, I don't want to call, you better call. I'm telling you, because I am that person where 2 people thought I would not be interested, and I very much so needed this opportunity. And I'm so glad that I did it. But imagine had they approached me. All right.
Man, that's so powerful, y'all. That is so powerful. And I'm telling you right now, I'm hoping that somebody, like something is like unleashing on the inside of somebody right now saying, I have been tripping. I know way more people than I'm giving myself credit for. I've just been afraid to call these people and connect with these people. And you know what I'm doing? I'm self-sabotaging. I'm saying that I want to win on one hand, but I'm doing things on the other hand to block my success and progress because I'm using excuses not to contact the very people that I should be contacting. I know it's uncomfortable. I know that this certain circle of people you comfortable talking to, but guess what? You've been talking to them and you ain't been getting the results you're looking for, because your comfort zone is your failure zone. When you get uncomfortable and you allow yourself to stretch out, right? And you like I'm in for it, I'm uncomfortable right now. That's when your breakthrough happens, guys. We used to have this saying, Andrea knows this, and she'll probably laugh when I bring this up, man. When we was in Dallas, man, it was this saying that we used to get told to us all the time that made us talk to everybody. Man, a cat will come in there and say, man, if y'all gonna mess around and I'm going to recruit your cousin. That was the thing. I'm going to recruit your cousin. You messing around with Primerica, I'm going to recruit your cousin. You're going to show up to a meeting and your cousin is going to be sitting next to me in the business. And that was the biggest fear, man. You ain't about to recruit my cousin. I'm talking to everybody in my family. I'm talking to everybody. I'm telling you right now, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. There's no reason why there's anybody that's in your circle, your center of influence that you have credibility with should not hear about the business from you. They shouldn't hear about it from you. Well, Nick, they've already been told about Primerica. Good, that's fine. They haven't heard it from you. They haven't heard about it from you. So I'm just encouraging you, family. Hopefully this is something to help you say, you know what, it's time for me to start contacting these people that are on my chicken list. Now, this might not be a list that's already written down, probably isn't, but it's a list that you have in your mind of people that you are afraid to call. It's time to do it. It's time to do it. Because this is where, let me show y'all this. What is this right here y'all see on the screen, right? This ain't no whole, conversation about iPhone versus Android. This is not that. This is an iPhone and this is a Samsung phone, right? And I know I joke sometimes about iPhone versus Android and whose team iPhone, team Android. That's not what I'm doing with this slide right here. You know what this is right here? This right here is $1 million in both of these phones. That's where your breakthrough is at right now, family. Your breakthrough is sitting in your phone right now. It's sitting in your phone. That's where your breakthrough is at. This little thing right here that you carry around everywhere you go, that you will literally drive 3 miles away from your house and realize that you don't have it, and you'll turn all the way around and go back and get it. Yep, this thing right here, $1 million sitting in here. Because there's somebody that's in your phone. There's somebody that's in your phone that knows somebody that needs to be in your business. But you ain't gonna connect the dots because you're scared to make the first dot connection. See, you ain't gonna get to the breakthrough until you make the first connection. See, you got $1 million. Everybody talking about a lottery ticket. What you need a lottery ticket for? This your lottery ticket right here. You got $1 million in your hand right here. Scratch it off. The scratch off is just swipe and start typing some names. Typing some numbers and calling some people and saying, hey man, I need to get with you. You're scratching off that light. Next thing you know, boom. That's your lottery right there. And that's one that you can control the outcome. Somebody that you know, if in your phone, knows somebody who knows somebody. That's going to be your breakthrough. How long is it going to take for you to get them? Or is somebody going to get to them before you? And they're going to be somebody else's breakthrough. Y'all ain't hearing me. You better run scared and say, I'm calling everybody in my phone. You better get to it before somebody else does it. All right? And so this is the pause button right here, guys. I'm hitting the pause. I told y'all it was coming up. It's a pause button. All right. Kalia, you had your hand up earlier. Talk to me, sis. Did you have a question or a comment?
Yes. Yeah, I had a comment. So I wanted to say that, if you are prospecting, when we were talking about prospecting, so when you're prospecting, if you're prospecting for the wrong people, if you have the wrong contacts in your phone, and you're just sending out appointments or scheduling appointments for anybody, you're wasting your time.
Yep. And
I want to tell you and suggest to you not to waste your time. We don't have time to waste because time is money. And I have spent so much time prospecting the wrong people. So it's important that you make sure that you follow the guidelines and that you're meeting the requirements. You find people that has a full-time job, age 25 to 50, maybe a homeowner, 2 or more kids, and everything that we're looking for, all 5 of the requirements, because if you're prospecting is very important. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys make sure that you are in the right market when prospecting. And I also wanted to say, I had another comment. So As far as like your chicken list goes, call them, my friends, my family, call those people up. I told my my new recruit, I was like, I'm going to call people up. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, do I have the wrong number? Well, you know, I wanted to speak to you about impacting the community. The community, there's a lack of finances in the community. And I wanted to talk to you about, you know, what we're doing to impact the community. So even if you had the wrong number, are you interested in doing do you want to do a 30-minute Zoom call with me? You know, because I have some important information, some you know, financial education that you need to know about. And I also wanted to point on, like you said, Nick, that there's somebody in your phone that knows somebody, you know. I constantly said, people know people. Yeah. You know, so you don't want to fall short on it. Like I was at a baby shower maybe about a month ago, and I was just talking to someone, and I was reaching out to them and telling them about the business, tell everybody that you know. And that I realized, I was like, I might not be able to reach out to this specific person, but I might reach out to somebody else because they know somebody that knows somebody. Everybody knows somebody knows somebody. So keep that in mind. I just wanted to mention it to all of our teammates, that everybody knows somebody. People know people. So definitely talk to everybody. Don't be afraid to call the people on your chicken list, even if you just so happen to randomly fall upon their number.
Awesome job. Thank you so much,
Schedule an appointment. Mm-hmm.
Excellent job. And so I appreciate that, because people need to hear that, you know, reinforced. And let me tell you this, if people invite you to events like baby showers and go. You mess around and show up. Let me tell you something, Pastor Chris. When I go to a birthday party or I go to an event and I see a bunch of people there, y'all be like, man, it's lit in this thing. Man, it's about to turn up. And I'll be literally in the cut like, wow, they know all of these people? Man, I need to recruit this person. Like, Jesus with me, like, good Lord. Like, I'll be like, Sam, you know all of these people? Who are these people? Oh, man. Half these people, my coworkers, that's my family over there. And they all came out to wish you well for your birthday, the baby shower and the baby dedication. Man, they here for your kids. But man, we need to talk. They came to your event. They bringing gifts. They bringing all kind of to you. Like, not saying that they should, but I'm like, wow, like they like really care about, like, you have credibility with these people. We need to talk. You know why? Because my antenna is up. And I'm like, okay. See, y'all talking about coming to a function like that and turning up in a row. I'm like, I'm about to turn up in another way. I'm about to turn up and try to go to another level in the business. So I'm just telling you guys, just look at it through another lens. Y'all, hey, listen to me. Some of y'all done been to some birthday parties this summer, some birthday dinners, and then at some nice restaurants. And people showing up, they dress nice, driving good, smelling good. And y'all been at them space, and y'all ain't thought nothing else about recruiting them people or y'all ain't did nothing. Y'all just there to enjoy. Man, the food is good here. Y'all eating good, all that. Y'all done left there, went to another spot and drinks and smoked hookah and all that type of stuff. Left and ain't getting no phone number, no nothing. No, I mean, guys, you in business. You better be looking at it like, okay, how am I going to work this? Okay, who's the credibility person here? Okay, she is. I need to get her phone number or his phone number, and I need to start like working it. Like, y'all better start getting y'all wheels turning, because you might stumble up on somebody, recruit somebody, or meet somebody through that person that'll explode your business. Somebody hearing me right now. Somebody hearing me. And I'm telling you, man, your breakthrough is like right there. That's your breakthrough. All right, hold on a second, guys. I know we probably have more questions and comments. I'm gonna get through the training. I want to talk about the 4 prospecting pipelines. There's 4 ways to prospect. I just want to make sure I get through training. I don't want to hold you guys too long because we do have the AALC call at 9. Central Time at 10 Eastern Time. So these are the 4 prospecting pipelines. The first pipeline is your warm market. Your warm market. These are the people that you know and the people who know you, right? And so you have credibility with these people, or at least you should. Or if you think you do, but you really don't, you will find out in Primerica. Primerica will show you the type of people you have surrounded yourself with in life. And you might not like the feedback that this business gives you. Hey, look, sometimes you think people got your back and they don't. That's a whole nother train. I'll cover that next week. I promise you I'll touch on that. Yeah, they will not be like, have your back, right? And so you'll find that out. But some of y'all, a lot of y'all got a good warm market. Y'all got credibility in that market, and that's a blessing, right? That's the first prospecting pipeline, right? The second prospecting pipeline is a new recruits warm market, meaning that you got a recruit, and now the recruit has their warm market. Well, this is where you're going to borrow the credibility. The new recruit, they make a name list. You know, you guys pick some people out of that list and go there to train them. And so when you're getting in front of the new recruits market, you're borrowing the new recruits credibility, right? That's the situation where you're borrowing. Then you have the referral market. And that's where you're going to borrow the referrers credibility. And the referrals can come from happy clients, your family members, friends, coworkers, advocates, emergency contacts, beneficiary contacts, all of that good stuff, man. Referrals. And then last but not least, you have the cold market, cold prospecting, cold networking, all that. There's no credibility there. You have to create it. You have to create the credibility here. And this is when you're meeting new people, whether it's in person, face-to-face, social media connections of people that you really don't know, networking events you might plug into, community events, financial workshops that you're putting on. You have to create the credibility, right? And so this is the place where everybody should start. Hopefully you're comfortable enough to start in your warm market. Why? Because that's the easiest place to get started, to get trained. There's already relationships there. There's already the strong credibility there. And we just said that this is a credibility business. Credibility is currency, right? Credibility is connectivity. So we want to start in the place where the credibility is the highest. Hopefully that is your warm market. And when you make your name list, that's the raw material that we use to build your business. So when you have that top 25 name list, right? Just see that and look at that, those names as the raw material that your field trainer is using to help you build your business. The names and phone numbers on that list is the raw material that we're using. Now, here's the deal. If you got shoddy material, your house is going to be shoddy. What does that mean? If the market is not qualified, if the market is suspect, if the market is weak, the business that we're building for you is going to be weak. The same way, if you have a builder building a house and they are building it with rotted wood or with compromised bricks, the house is going to be rickety. It's going to be shaky. It's the same thing in the business. So you want to make sure that hopefully you can get started with something that is strong, that you have some substance to it, right? Hey, family, I'm just trying to help you out. In addition to that, if you only put a few names on there, then we can't build much. Just like you can't build a house with a couple of pieces of lumber and a handful of bricks, Kim. You can't build no house with that. But if you got a bunch of bricks and a bunch of lumber, you can build a big house. So make sure you don't sabotage yourself by saying, I only know 6 people. And you only got 6 people on the top 25 name list. I only know 3 people, right? So Shatina, you got a question. What do you suggest the conversation be if a prospect on the chicken list has had a negative experience with Primerica, right? The only thing that you can do is to find out what was the experience. Because it's not Primerica that they had the negative experience with, it's the person that they were dealing with in Primerica. And so you have to help them separate the two. You have to help them separate the two. Primerica in and of itself is not a bad company. We're a great company. Now, you got some people that work with Primerica that may have did some knucklehead things. Just like you might go to Chick-fil-A, you might go to the Chick-fil-A off Westheimer, and you might have an awful experience over there, the one on Westheimer in Kirkwood, but then you go to the Chick-fil-A off of 59 in Kirby. Man, that's a different ballgame, man. They got a totally different experience. See, Chick-fil-A ain't the problem. It's the people that they got working in that Chick-fil-A. So it might be an office, a Primerica office that's doing the food. That don't mean Primerica is bad. It's that office. It's the people in that office doing. When they deal with you, you gotta let them know that, hey, you're dealing with me. Give me a chance to show you a different Primerica. And so we can talk more about that. But guys, if there's somebody that's had a negative experience with Primerica, just know that it's not Primerica they had a negative experience with. It's the person that they were dealing with that probably didn't know what they were doing. And so just know that it's you that they're connecting with, not Primerica. It's you that they're connecting with. Just make sure that you're a connector, All right? We're talking about raw material, building a business. The more contacts you have, the better. But make sure that they qualify, right? So a new recruits warm market is the best market to be in because that's where 80% of your business should come from, is from a new recruits warm market. Real talk, guys. When you have a new recruit, so you got 5 new recruits. This is how this works. Say, Shatima, let's say you recruited 5 new people, right? They all gonna come with a list. If all 5 of those recruits come with a top 25 name list, that's 125 new contacts that just flowed into your business. They're not your contacts, but they're a part of the business of the people that just joined your team. They're part of their contacts. So as a team, as a unit, you guys just had an influx of 25 new contacts. 125 new contacts. Man, guys, that's huge. That's a game changer. And that's how we look at new recruits. Each new recruit brings a market that we're going to help them grow their business in. That's the best way to prospect, is with a new recruits warm market. Best way to go about the business, because it can continue. All you got to do is get more recruits, and there's more markets. Your warm market is going to run out. But if you want to keep it going, get a new recruit. Over 80% of you on this call right now, over 80% of you guys on this training, you were recruited from a recruits warm market. You were on somebody's top 25 name list. 80% of y'all that are on this meeting right now, you came from somebody's top 25 name list. That's how powerful a new recruits warm market is. All right? And so, man, I'm just getting started, man. Tell you what, I'm gonna have to put a pin in it, man, Coach B Walk, because I got some more stuff and I just don't want to rush through it. But family, it's already a little bit past 8 o'clock. Is it okay with y'all if I kind of just I put a pin in it right there, and then I pick it back up next Tuesday? Is that cool with y'all? Are y'all good with that? Give me the thumbs up if y'all good with that. All right. Okay. Excellent. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pause training right here, and I thank you guys for just your exchange, your energy, and just the comments that I'm seeing in the chat. This has been an amazing training, but we're just getting warmed up. If you didn't take anything away from this training tonight, I want you to take this away. Understand that, how you can really make a breakthrough in your business is really focusing on prospecting, understanding prospecting. And you know people that you haven't contacted yet, right? Make it a point and a priority that this week is that you're going to attack your chicken list. If you need some help from your field trainer, just kind of working through, certain people that you still afraid to put on, man, talk to your field trainer about that. And just let them understand the dynamics of y'all's relationship and where the trepidation is coming from. And hopefully they can help you get over that, right? But this is that week. This is that season. We're talking about this is the summer of separation. Let's separate ourselves from fear. And let's get towards the love and abundance that's waiting for us. And let's go to a new height and a new level together. And so if you didn't take anything away, man, get with the people that you have not contacted, attack their chicken list, because they're looking for an opportunity. A lot of them, they need a breakthrough, and it needs to come from you. Thank you.